Hello everyone, Prime here, and it's time for some Cuchulainn action, as he'll probably be released after Daji, whenever she decides to come out. Now I should mention that this one is pretty much all story and myths, and less, well, if any, actual, because there are many variations of this story, and I'm meshing some of the tales just to make this one a bit more cohesive and less repetitive. But with that said, let's get into this. The greatest champion of the Red Branch, hero of Ulster, and son of King Lugh. On Earth, his father was Conor MacNess, and when Lugh was in the form of a mayfly, he flew into Dectera, his sister's mouth, and Setanta was born. With 7 toes, fingers, and pupils, the boy was raised by Dectera's sister, Finchom, with her son, Conall. One time, Setanta set out on his own and happened upon a playing field. At this point, he did not know of a custom of asking for protection, which the other boys saw as a challenge. When they assaulted him, Setanta defeated them all. When Setanta was 6 years old, he travelled to Cuchulainn, a renowned blacksmith, and whilst there, the boy defeated and killed his massive guard dog with nothing more than his bare hands in self-defense. You see, Setanta couldn't arrive right away, he had stuff to do, but told his father Conor that he would arrive later. Conor forgot to mention this to anyone because, feast, and Cuchulainn had no reason not to put his guard dog out to work as usual. The godly smith was none too pleased about this, and so Setanta, feeling responsible, offered to man the dog's former post until a replacement could be ready. The boy swore never to eat the flesh of a dog, and from that day forward became known as Cuchulainn. He saw victory against 150 princes of Conor's court, of which he gained membership into as a 7-year-old boy. He also overheard a druid, Cuthbad, mentioning to the pupils that anyone who would take up arms would have fame everlasting. Cuchulainn wanted that fame and asked Conor for some arms, but none could bear the strength of Cuchulainn. Conor ended up giving his own arms to Cuchulainn, and Cuchulainn was gifted fame. However, there was a small detail, in that his life would be shortened. As Cuchulainn failed to listen to the entire prophecy, he missed that minor detail. He soon fell in love with the daughter of Forgal, Emma, but she waited until he proved himself to be a mighty warrior before returning any affections. Forgal himself didn't exactly ship the two of them either. With the aid of Conor's chariot and the weapon, he learnt the art of war from Scatha, a warrior maiden. In truth, Cuchulainn was sent to Scatha with the hope that he would be killed, but that didn't stop him from learning a lot from Scatha, and he joined Scatha against her sister, who just happened to be Princess Aoife. Cuchulainn goes ahead and confronts Aoife, and the two of them are evenly matched, but the hero manages to seize her and delivers her to her sister in order for the siblings to make peace. Cuchulainn then has a child with Aoife and gives her a ring which he instructs her to give to any son she likes. With the sister closer to peace, he then found the sons of Nectan, who were known to raid Ulster and kill the men indiscriminately. He then challenged them. He killed Foyle with a trusty slingshot before decapitating him. He then killed the other 2 sons promptly and set fire to the castle. In the depths of his bloodlust, he rode to Emain Macha, where a group of naked women led by Morrigan, the queen of this area, dumped him into freezing tubs of water until he became sane again. After this quest, he returned to Forgal, and Emma's love for Cuchulainn blossomed. A pity for them, the king of Forgal disapproved of their union, refusing to give Emma's hand in marriage. Understandably, rather mad, Cuchulainn stormed Forgal's fortification, slayed 24 of his men, and simply abducted all of the fortress's booty, including a cauldron that produced gold and silver. Forgal also met gravity and fell to his death. 8 years had passed, and an unnamed challenger arrived on Ulster's bright shores. He did not mention his name, nor why he came, but dispatched of the greatest warriors of the area before Cuchulainn arrived. Still, he refused to answer any of the questions that Cuchulainn asked, and it looks like Cuchulainn was evenly matched with this chap, until he used the Gale Bulgur, a spear that was said to open into 30 points after entering a person's body. The funny thing about this is not actually that funny at all, but Aoife gave him the spear, and it mortally wounded Connla. Cuchulainn casually spied the boy's fingers and spotted a familiar ring which instantly brought him to his knees, in tears. Pretty sad story. Did you know that Cuchulainn was in a beheading contest with a giant? He was with Conall Cernach and Lear, winner of battles, and the three of them recently duked it out for the title of champion. When wildcats were put into the men's room, Cuchulainn alone was the man that did not flee in terror, instead facing the beast with his sword. And again saw triumph alone when he bested 3 witches, simultaneously sent to slay them, and was the only man who didn't lose his bout. Well, the 3 of them beheaded the giant, placed before them, but it was only Cuchulainn who was willing to place his head on the chopping block when it was their turn. The giant raised his weapon, but immediately missed his mark, declaring Cuchulainn the champion. The giant was actually a magician king in disguise, Curoi. From Sean Bjerg, an otherworldly man, he received weapons that would guarantee victory and armor that offered protection against water and fire. Gol MacCabadar was a colossal German warrior who proudly demanded tributes, and our hero took him down in fair combat. Cuchulainn the champion eventually had an affair with Bluffnat, Curoi's wife, and decapitated Curoi for good measure. Manannan, the god of the sea, and his wife, Fand, had relationship troubles, and Daddy Cuchulainn helped Fand with a month-long affair, but after enjoying that life, he went back to Emma. Both of them received mysterious but effective drinks that helped them to forget that ordeal. Some lovely people, Maeve and Alilil, sent an army against Ulster for the Brown Bull of Cuchulainn. Every man was controlled by the effects of Marka's curse and could not awaken themselves to defend their home. Cuchulainn had to halt the enemy's advance alone until his men were ready to fight, if at all. He sent hundreds of soldiers to the afterlife. The hero was so dangerous that at the mere sight of his battle fury, some of the soldiers dropped dead. The enemy then arranged single duels with Cuchulainn during this time. They stole the bull and took it towards Connaught. This whilst Cuchulainn was in the middle of the fight of his life against Ferdia, an old friend. After 4 days, Ferdia fell to Gaebold. Once he recovered, his army defeated the additional forces from Connaught and enjoyed 7 years of beautiful peace. Now, I've already covered the story of Cuchulainn's death in the Morrigan's Law video, so if you want to know about that, go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a card somewhere on the screen so you can do that. It feels kind of pointless to cover that story again. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like on the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more content if you're new. Next up should be Geb. Yes, should be Geb. And then we'll see. If you want me to cover a specific god, go ahead and leave a request in the comment section below. But until the next video, on Friday it should be, I've been Prime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.